Ray Bishop didn't just run cell block D. He owned the oxygen inside it. 6'5", 280, a wall of tattooed muscle. And somehow, he moved like a predator that never had to hurry. A man who hadn't heard the word no in 5 years. In the Ironwood chow hall, Ray was gravity. When he laughed, you laughed. When he stopped, you stopped. Then the bus from upstate arrived, and gravity shifted. It was a freezing Monday. The air inside intake stank of diesel and fierce sweat. 30 men shuffled off the transport, chains rattling like skeletons coupling. Most of them tried too hard, puffing chests, mean-mugging the guards, selling toughness like it was currency. Then there was Marcus Hale. Marcus was a ghost in an orange jumpsuit, average height, shaved head, shoulders rolled inward, eyes glued to the scuffed linoleum. He didn't walk, he slid, through the cracks in the room, the kind of guy you look at and immediately forget. But Ray saw him. Ray sat at the center table, peeling an orange, like he was tearing a small animal apart. He watched Marcus hesitate at the door, clutching his plastic tray, white-knuckled with terror. Ray smiled, not friendly. It was the look a shark gives a seal that drifted too far from the ice. "Fresh meat," Ray whispered. The goon beside him chuckled. The takedown began on Wednesday. The cafeteria was a roar. 500 men, clattering metal, shouting. Marcus moved down the aisle, head down, invisible. Ray stood up. He didn't rush. He stepped into the aisle with the casual arrogance of a man walking through his own living room. Bam! He shoulder-checked Marcus. It wasn't a nudge. It was a collision. The tray went airborne. Mashed potatoes and gray gravy exploded across the floor. The sound hit like a gunshot. Silence slammed into the room. 500 forks froze. Ray looked down, feigning shock. Oops, his voice was deep, gravelly. A rumble you felt in your chest. Didn't see you there, little man. This was the test. The prison IQ check. You shove back, or you die. Marcus didn't shove. He didn't even breathe. A tiny muscle in his jaw feathered once, but his eyes stayed on the garbage at his feet. Slowly, agonizingly, he crouched. He began to scoop the filth back onto the tray with his bare hands. The laughter started at Ray's table, then tore through the room like wildfire. It wasn't just laughter, it was social execution. Ray leaned down, his mouth inches from Marcus's ear. "Good boy," he hissed. "Lick it clean if you have to." For 48 hours, it was open season. Ray tripped him in the halls. The crew soaked his mattress in toilet water. They locked him in the laundry room, and Marcus just took it, silent, broken, a punching bag with a pulse. But the old-timers, the guys doing life, they noticed something the loudmouths missed. When Marcus tripped, he didn't sprawl. He rotated, he hit the ground and rolled to his feet in one fluid motion, like water flowing over rock. He wasn't clumsy. He was performing clumsy. Ray, blinded by his own God complex, didn't see the trap until the steel jaws were already snapping shut. Sunday, the weight room, the Iron Church. Ray's boys blocked the double doors. No guards, no witnesses, just the smell of rust and stale testosterone. Ray grabbed a sweat-soaked towel off a bench and whipped it at Marcus. Thwack! It slapped wet across Marcus's face. "My sneakers are dusty, Ghost," Ray barked. "Get on your knees." The room went dead quiet. Marcus stood there. The towel lay on the floor between them. For the first time, Marcus lifted his head. The fear was gone. In its place, a flat, dead calm. His eyes were like shark glass, black, empty, and terrifyingly focused. Ray frowned. He stepped into Marcus's personal space. "You deaf?" I said. "I don't want trouble," Marcus said. His voice was soft, level, completely devoid of emotion. Ray laughed. He pulled back a fist the size of a cinder block. "Trouble found you." Ray threw the haymaker. A kill shot. It hit nothing but air. Marcus didn't just duck. He vanished. He slipped under the punch and stepped in. He pivoted, driving his elbow backward into Ray's solar plexus. Crunch. A wet, sick sound. Cartilage giving up. Ray's eyes bulged. All the air left his body in a strangled whoosh. He stumbled back. His brain couldn't process it. The prey was eating the predator. Marcus didn't stop. This wasn't a fight. It was an amputation. A sweep to the leg. Ray crumbled. As the giant fell, Marcus delivered a palm strike to the throat. Short, vicious, precise. Ray hit the mat with a thud that shook the squat racks. The king of Block D lay curled in the fetal position, clutching his throat, wheezing like a dying engine. The goons at the door stood frozen, mouths hanging open. Marcus stepped back. He wasn't panting. He wasn't sweating. He adjusted his collar. He looked down at the man at his feet, gasping for air, and he whispered, "I'm not your punching bag." Marcus turned to the exit, but he didn't walk out. He stopped, slowly. He looked up the corner of the room. At the dusty security camera, everyone thought was broken. A tiny red LED blinked back at him. Marcus didn't smile. He just gave the lens one sharp nod. He hadn't been hiding from Ray, he'd been auditioning, and someone on the other side of that camera just found their leading man. The gym was so quiet, you could hear sweat ticking down, off Ray Bishop's nose. Onto the rubber mat. The king of Block D wasn't dead, but his reign was. Ray lay curled in the fetal position, gasping for air, clutching his throat, staring up at Marcus. Not with rage, with clarity. The terrifying kind a man gets when he realizes he's no longer the apex predator. Marcus didn't gloat. He didn't offer a hand up. He just turned his back on the fallen giant and walked out the double doors, sliding back into the corridor like smoke. By morning, the story had infected Ironwood Correctional like a virus. The prison grapevine is faster than fiber optics. In the chow hall, the yard, the shower blocks, the whisper stayed the same. The ghost is real. The change in the ecosystem was immediate and brutal. When Ray finally limped back into general population, 3 days later, his aura was gone. He carried his tray with a subtle limp. His eyes darted, nervous, avoiding the gaze of men he had tormented for years. The sharks smelled blood in the water, but they didn't attack Ray. They were too busy watching Marcus. Marcus, though, remained a cipher. He didn't take Ray's seat at the head table. He didn't start a crew. He went back to mopping floors, eating his meals in 4 minutes flat, staring at the wall. But now, when he walked down the center of the rec yard, the sea of orange jumpsuits parted. It wasn't just fear anymore. It was reverence. A week later, inside the prison library, a rare blind spot for the guards, a skinny kid named Louis E.S. cornered him. Louis E.S. was 19, doing 5 to 10 for a robbery that went south. He vibrated with nervous energy. Clutching a dog-eared thriller, he wasn't reading. "Hey," Louis S. whispered. He looked over his shoulder. "Is it true? What the guys are saying?" Marcus didn't look up from the book in his lap. "What are they saying, Louis S.? That you're different? That you know some kung fu movie stuff?" Marcus finally raised his eyes, dark, placid pools, giving away nothing. Then he cracked a faint smile, almost invisible. "Shaolin," Marcus said. The word barely disturbed the air. "Since I was 10 years old." Lou E.S. blinked. His mouth fell open. "Shaolin? Like the monks? Then why did you let Ray trash you for a week? Why did you let him dump food on you? You could have killed him on day 1. Marcus closed his book. The sound snapped sharp in the dead silence of the stacks. He leaned forward. His voice dropped to a register that made Lou E.S. shiver. "Because power isn't about how hard you can hit, kid. It's about knowing when to hit." He paused. His gaze drifted to the security camera in the corner of the ceiling. Sometimes, the most lethal strike is the one you hold back, until the moment is perfect. Lou E.S. nodded, not fully understanding, but feeling the weight of the truth. Marcus wasn't just a fighter. He was a weapon that had chosen to keep the safety on. In the weeks that followed, something strange took hold of Ironwood. The temperature of the prison dropped. The daily stabbings in the showers stopped. The gang skirmishes in the yard ceased. It was as if the entire facility was holding its breath, mimicking the discipline of the man silently sweeping the corridors. Even Ray kept his head down, a ghost of his former self, neutered by the mere presence of the ghost. To the casual observer, it looked like peace. But peace is just a pause between wars. 3 weeks after the fight, Marcus was in his cell during lockup. The lights were dimmed. The block was quiet. He sat on his bunk, legs crossed, eyes closed, in meditation. Then, a metallic clack at his door. Marcus opened his eyes. A folded piece of paper slid under the steel door. This wasn't standard mail. No stamp, no inspection seal. Marcus unfolded the note. It wasn't from an inmate. The handwriting was precise, cursive, educated, 1 line of text. The warden was impressed. "Your audition is complete." Marcus stared at the paper, then, slowly, he turned it over. Taped to the back, a small, grainy photograph. A man in a solitary confinement cell. A man the world thought was dead. Marcus crumpled the note in his fist and stood up. The calm monk was gone. The predator was back. He walked to the cell door and looked out into the darkness of the tier. The The fight with Ray hadn't been about respect. It hadn't been about survival. It was about getting hired. And tonight, the real work began.